Well, hey, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Bible Podcast presented by Saint Church. My name's Caleb, and our hope is to help you study the Word of God every single day. Every day, we're taking time to upload episodes onto Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, where we are reading through a chapter of the Bible, looking at the context it was written in, and seeing what it has to say for us today. Today, we're going to be doing just that by continuing on in our study through the book of Deuteronomy. We're going to be reading out of Deuteronomy Chapter 26. Now, really quick and really fast before we dive on in, if you are checking this out on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube, and you end up enjoying this, you find it beneficial, I just want to encourage you to take a moment to like, follow, subscribe, and even consider leaving a rating and a review. All of those things mean so much because they help ensure that you don't miss out on upcoming episodes and other people know that this is content worth checking out. But with that being said, let's just dive right on into Deuteronomy chapter 26, starting in verse 1. This is what the Word of God has to say today. It says this: When you have entered the land the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance, and have taken possession of it and settled in it, take some of the first fruits of all that you produce from the soil of the land the Lord your God is giving you, and put them in a basket. Then go to the place the Lord your God will choose as a dwelling for his name, and say to the priest in office at the time, I declare today to the Lord your God, that I have come to the land the Lord swore to our ancestors to give us. The priest shall take the basket from your hands and set it down in front of the altar of the Lord your God. Then you shall declare before the Lord your God, my father was a wandering Aramean, and he went down into Egypt with a few people and lived there and became a great nation, powerful and numerous. But the Egyptians mistreated us and made us suffer, subjected us to harsh labor. Then we cried out to the Lord, the God of our ancestors. The Lord heard our voice and saw our misery, toil, and oppression. So the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. With great terror and with great signs and wonders, he brought us to this place and gave us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. And now I bring the first fruits of the soil that you, Lord, have given me. Place the basket before the Lord your God and bow down before him. Then you and the Levites and the foreigners residing among you shall rejoice in all the good things the Lord your God has given to you and your household. When you have finished setting aside a tenth of all your produce in the third year, the year of the tithe, you shall give it to the Levite, the foreigner, the fatherless, and the widow, so that they may eat in your towns and be satisfied. Then say to the Lord your God, I have removed from my house the sacred portion, and have given it to the Levite, the foreigner, the fatherless, and the widow, according to all you commanded. I have not turned aside from your commands, nor have I forgotten any of them. I have not eaten any of the sacred portion while I was in mourning, nor have I removed any of it while I was unclean, nor have I offered any of it to the dead. I have obeyed the Lord my God. I have done everything you commanded me. Look down from heaven, your holy dwelling place, and bless your people Israel, and the land you have given us as your promise on oath to our ancestors, a land flowing with milk and honey. The Lord your God commands you this day to follow these decrees and laws. Carefully observe them with all your heart and with all your soul. You have declared this day that the Lord is your God, and that you will keep his decrees, commands, and laws, that you will listen to him. And the Lord has declared this day that you are his people, his treasured possession as he promised, and that you are to keep all his commands. He has declared that he will set you in praise, fame, and honor high above all the nations he has made, and that you will be a people holy to the Lord your God as he promised. And that is the close of Deuteronomy chapter 26. Now, In this chapter, we really are seeing two things discussed. The first thing that we are seeing here is that as the Israelites are preparing to go into the promised land, they must remember to honor the Lord with their first fruits. That they must honor the Lord when it comes to their giving and their generosity. Now, once again, we have to remember, why did things like this matter? Now, there's a whole amount of things we could talk about when it comes to giving and the tithe and all this different stuff that we've already seen outlined throughout our studies through the Old Testament. In this case, in this moment, we are seeing that they are needing to be reminded of the particular reality that at one point they were enslaved, but now they have been given the opportunity to be able to have freedom and to serve the Lord and follow after Him. So as they give of the first fruits of the land, as they give of their tithe regularly as well, they are remembering the fact that God had freed them from being slaves and has now given them the opportunity to walk freely and to actually walk in an amount of abundance as the Lord has provided. It's a moment of remembering that God is the one who has given them all that they have. And the reason why first fruits matter is because first fruits are when it actually takes sacrifice. It actually takes faith. It actually does believe the fact that the Lord will provide more and more, and He will provide again. In this instance, we are seeing that the Israelites are not just to go and get all the things, make sure they're all set, and then take time to give. No, they are to give, be generous, be honoring in it, and to see the fact that the Lord is with them in and through it all. That if He freed them from being slaves in Egypt, how much more will He now provide for them as they are in the land He has promised? And after this, we end up seeing again a final instruction for the Israelites to make sure that they love the Lord their God with all their heart, with all their soul, with all their mind, with all their strength, that they would honor these commands because they realize the fact that they love Him. And there's a reality that there's times that we look and we almost get this false dichotomy about God. We end up thinking to ourselves, well, if God really was good with me, if God really loved me, then He wouldn't put all these constraints around me. But that's not how any relationships work. Relationships that are between you and someone that you love, there actually are constraints that come into play. If you end up marrying somebody, you believe they'll be faithful to you. You believe that they won't lie to you. You believe they're not going to just be selfish all the time. You believe that they'll help care for you. You believe that there are some parameters you will operate within. And so God looks and He's just saying, hey, I love you, love me as much as I love you, care for me as much as I care for you, and know that it will go well with you. And so today, for you and I, as we read through this chapter in Deuteronomy, and really it's a short and quick thing, but there is a deep reality we can understand here, that we too should make sure that we love the Lord with all our soul, with all our heart, with all our mind, with all our strength, with everything inside of us, but also the fact that we must trust that the Lord is also our provider, that there are times and situations where we give generously of our first fruits because we believe that the Lord is the one who provides it all, that we're not waiting just to have it be something at the very end we can tack on. And again, I'm not talking about trying to raise funds or money or that sort of a thing. I'm talking about our heart and us ensuring that it is not that at the end of the day our money decides if we can worship and honor God, but rather the fact that God is who He is means our money can go to the places that He has led us to put it and to place it. That where our money is, oftentimes it shows where our heart is. So let's ensure that just as the Israelites were called to remember their love for God, and that a part of that was also them remembering to be generous in the giving of their first fruits, that you and I as well would take time to consider and say, Lord, how are you calling me to make sure my heart knows that you are the one who provides, that you are the one we can trust. Friends, with that being said, it's really all I got for you today. So I just want to say thanks for jumping on. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, and if you got a second, leave a rating. It means a ton. But if you have any questions, comment them down below. I would love to dialogue with you. With that being said, thanks for jumping on today, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow because we're taking time to study the Word of God every single day.